Well, good morning. I can't react altogether that wildly to a possibly non-existent sound effect because Amelia here has become very affectionate this morning and wanting to be petted again. So, good morning. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day with Amelia Kitty up on my lap. She's my 20-year-old pretty kitty. My good old lady. She, oh, you're itchy? Huh. But still, yay! Boy, propeller ears. I was not originally planning to have a kitty cat up on my lap, but here we go with my, as stated, my old lady here. So, thumbs up. 20 years old, but still active. Yay! So, I'm gonna start talking about things now. Checking my list. It is like 50 to something odd degrees outside. It's cool. And we're gonna like come close to, if not topping 100 later on this afternoon. It's supposed to really cool down at night. So who knows? It might not. But right now, a fan on in the window blowing cool air in. Fan on in the hall and further down the hall, keeping the air circulation going of the cooler air. Later on, I'm going to shut the window when it starts getting hot. Just a little crack for, I need to move your tail. Just a little bit of a crack for air circulation. But oy vey, it's going to be fun. So, checking the rest of my list here, I'm going to talk about this one quick because with the situation with my nerves in my arms, oh boy, this arm is not feeling too good today. Joy. This one, oh man, the irritation in my nerves, and I don't know why. All I did was walk to Walmart last night, and there was just, it started up here. The nerves in right around my rotator cuff, the tendons of my rotator cuff, those are like the canary in the mine shaft. If something starts there, I know that I'm in for a bad time. Something started there. And from there, this started feeling worse. And then I started having muscle spasms along the nerves running down here. Plus, new muscle spasms down here where muscle spasms had never happened before. So the irritated nerve and all the various branches are really starting to get going too. All I was doing was walking, and I had to hold my arm carefully or my hand would go numb. And I had all of those micro spasms, even to the point that it feels like stuff are not cramping, but spasming on the back of my hand, but you don't really have any muscles on the back of your hand. It's all tendons and ligaments. So it was spasming of these muscles down here that had the parts up here pulling. So that was great. And once again, there is just a cloud of fur. Oh, God. Oh. Right into my nose. So, yay. Now, checking the rest of my list. Oh, this was just a fun one. This one is more, the dangers of Christian nationalism are joyous. Because in the United States, the Christian nationalists are they're not asking, they're telling the pastors and stuff to stop doing things like preaching Jesus' words. Because what Jesus said is weak and woke, and they don't want to hear that. So, isn't that great? In the United States, Christians don't want to hear the words of Christ. I'm not saying all Christians, I'm saying the loud ones that get on the news and stuff. They don't want to hear the words of Christ because Christ is weak and woke. They do worship a gun-toting, left-hating Jesus. which of course means they don't worship Jesus at all, since Jesus was woke as all heck. He's the one that went out and, according to all the books and stories, befriended and walked amongst those who were the most sinners of the time, and was good and kind to them, and told people to love one another. Yeah, he's weak and woke. United States is great. Which, if you know anything about the United States right now, it is not great. Oh my God. It is horrific and getting worse, and I'm talking about not things like police violence at this moment. I'm talking about the political state of things, where we've got governors that are just outright banning history and bringing in straight Christian nationalist propaganda. It's fine to be Christian. There's nothing wrong with that, of course. But Christian nationalism and just outright lies and propaganda is wrong. So, joyous. But we'll go on to other things, like the great other horrific things happening in Florida. A month and some ago, Bo of the Fifth Column he did a video about malaria. Because malaria is now in the United States. Airborne malaria, mosquitoes. You have to worry about getting malaria in Florida now. A month ago, he said the next thing that's going to happen, dengue fever. Well, what have we had happen just in the past couple days in Florida? Dengue fever is in Florida as well. All of these tropical diseases are now United States diseases because of global climate change, because Florida is now a good place for that type of mosquito. Yay! 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 Which, from one insect to arachnid spider report, I'm sad this morning. Checking to look at my window to see if the one spider is back. Between my sliding windows, there was a big old spider on a web. Bad place for, well, it's not between the window and all. The two windows. Sorry about that. There's plastic over the windows because they don't have storm windows. And between the window and some plastic, because the plastic is torn, there was a big web, and there was a big old spider in the web. I opened up the window further to have more air pass through here, and the big old spider panicked because of the vibrations and went whoop, and she's gone. But this tiny spider that was next to the fan that I have talked about before, she came crawling out from behind some tape when I went and moved the window and then put the fan up in the window in a different position. She wasn't moving all that fast, so she was probably starving or some such, but I couldn't keep bothering her with moving the window, and every time I moved the window, it tore everything up, so I carefully moved her outside, where hopefully she's gonna be okay. I mean, she's not, but hopefully. There's another tiny spider and a little bit of a web over in the corner. She looks like an orb weaver, but I'm not quite sure. And speaking of spiders, I had mentioned how I had walked through a spider web in our garage down there, and it was one of those big spider webs that I walked into, and I was more worried about the actual spider than anything else, and so I checked the ground to make sure she was okay, and then just pulled the web off. The other night, possibly even yesterday, I was walking along the road that goes to Walmart and back, and there are spider webs everywhere, and there's a lot of fences, and then there's sometimes trees that are over the sidewalks, and so you walk past actual spider webs. They put anchor lines, and then you walk through an anchor line, or they'll be letting out bits of web that go out in long lines that drift. And then last night especially, I saw a glint through the air, and then a moment later whip across the bridge of my nose. But I walked through another spider web and I was worried about it. It felt like just a little bit, but when I reached up, it went ring, ging, ging, a whole lot of web that went pulled through my hair. The weird thing about this is I had my doctor, my local VA doctor type, where it's community care type, where I can see a doctor in the community instead of having to go see my doctor in American Lake, which is far away that I can't get to, and the doctor there already says, don't come see me. Not because he doesn't like me, this clinic is just stressed, so yay on that. But he said, well, how's your hearing? And the fact that he hasn't had to speak up says my hearing's pretty good on to him. My hearing is still way too good. I shouldn't have good hearing like this for my age and both with the abuse that I have done to it. I mean, I talk about how I'm losing my minivan out there that my wife bought. I used to listen to the music in that van with the door shut so loud, it was almost painful. And I still, when I walk and I hear the webs pull, I can hear the spider webs snap. I shouldn't be able to hear spider webs snap at my age, but I can. I can hear way too well, and I used to go to a lot of concerts when I was younger, where for 3 days afterward I couldn't hear. So I am just glad my hearing is as good as it is. I have a good kitty on my lap. Now, checking the rest of my list here, and the time is 11 and some. I'll talk about some of my other things if there's anything later. Oh, like, really quick, when I was talking yesterday about and then this happened to stories, not so much things happening in the world. Things happening in the world and then this happened because of larger things happening behind the scenes. Cat hair everywhere. Is one thing, and that's not bad because that's how a lot of the things happen inside of my setting here, where people are being eaten by a creature in Abernathy because of decisions being made months earlier where they got contracts from the Crimson Kingdom, where it seems like and then this happened, but it's directly related to something back here. There's nothing wrong with that. The kind of stories that I was talking to is because it's you need to get from here to here. And then this happened to get you there. Not organic to the story, not organic to the characters. Something is happening because if it doesn't happen, your characters aren't going to get here. So, and then this happened. A bunch of cars blow up, and then the road is blocked. Now they have to go this way. There's no reason for the cars to blow up other than, and then this happened, so they went over here and got caught by the beastie. And then this happened. A tree fell on the big beastie. Nothing that they did affected the tree falling on them. The tree was going to fall because they had to get away. There was no way for them to escape, so a tree had to fall on the big bad guy. That sort of thing is the poor planning. And then this happened. Gosh, I need to get them out of this. A car explodes and it kills the bad guy. And during it's like, why did the car explode? To get the characters out of the situation. Not from any organic thing happening, but if it didn't explode, they wouldn't have been able to get away. So that's the big difference there. But yesterday I was talking about Tenaskut Valley, the sheriff of Tenaskut Valley, and Kelvin, an EMT who works there, the effective equivalent of an EMT. What happens to them with Tenaskut Valley and you don't look at a full moon, or if you do, you're going to become one of the transcended. You die. Your mind is wiped and erased, and basically, metaphorically, allegorically, a new personality is downloaded into you as you bulk up into a new creature. You and your body are the basis for this, but you as an individual are erased with this new individual showing up. So these ascended, who are very animalistic because they've got a lot of energy that they have to make up, have to eat things And people are very nutritious with a lot of energy. So they have to eat a lot of individuals. If they can't, animals, anything. There's a big problem because there's, leading up to the kaiju's rampage, there is a lot of pressure building up all over the Razor's Edge. There are a lot of ascended happening. A lot of animals are being taken out and eaten so that there's not enough animals in the valley temporarily. So that's bad. The Ascended are having issues with eating things out there. They are being forced to try and come up to the city to eat. There is a small tourist business in Tenaskut Valley. And one night, well, a person comes in. You gonna go down? A person comes in to do some camping. This person goes out camping while there's a full moon. They are warned not to watch the full moon and urged to not go. Are you going to go down? What are you doing? Please, just go down. And so they go out camping, and everyone is worried, of course, but they do so. Then the sheriff gets a call. This person went out camping, fell, hurt themselves, they need help. So the sheriff and an EMT go out to find them. They're in a place where vehicles can't go, so they have to walk there. Takes about an hour. After the first call, they don't hear from this person, but it takes about an hour to get there because even though you're traveling via glamour, going from layer to layer to layer, still it's on a one-to-one basis. 1 kilometer takes 1 kilometer to travel, so it takes time. But when they're almost there, they hear the scream of an awakened Ascended. The hiker looked at the moon and ascended while they were busy trying to get there. So suddenly, Amelia knew they have to start running for their lives because they hear it, and a frighteningly short amount of time later, it is bursting through the forest at them. They have to run for their lives. It is desperate to eat them. The Ascended aren't evil. They are animalistic. There is nothing in their heads but the need to eat. And if they don't eat, they will starve and die. They're not evil. They just have a great need, and there's no intelligence until after they pay off the energy debt. But they are running for their lives from this thing through a forested area. They have an advantage because being smaller, it's easier to get through a forested area. There's no paths or just animal paths. They can get through them. An Ascended is 12 to 15 feet tall. Sure, a ton to a ton and a half of meat, but still, vines have to be pulled out of the ground. Small trees have to be broken through or ripped up when they tangle into the great wings, into the body. It takes time and effort, even for a ton and a half, to pull through all of this vegetation. They have the advantage and are able to stay ahead of it. It is becoming more and more desperate because if it doesn't pay off this debt, its body starts cannibalizing itself. One of the things with all of this energies, all of these energies that pour through the Razor's Edge, there is the energy from the inside, there's the down conversion energy, there's a small bit of normal energy, there's a little bit of cryptid energy, there's the static energy that comes from the two universes bumping up against each other, and then the Razor's Edge is formed from that, so all of these energies are there. The one big difference between that static energy and all others is the other energies just have a threshold to activate, and then they will do something. This static energy, when it activates, it has to have a discharge, and then it works. But that first discharge is a very destructive discharge. It's extremely local and fades out quickly, but it has a destructive discharge that allows the release of the creative energies. As they are running, these energies collect, and there is a large concentration of it that they're running straight at. The sheriff can feel these little pricklies You know, like when there's static electricity in the air and your hair starts to go up like that. It is like that, except of this static energy and on static electricity. So they have to stop or they're going to run right in. Amelia, no. Or they are going to, no. They're going to run right into the energy. The sheriff understands they got to get around it, keep going, because then the thing that's chasing them is going to run right into it. That will save them, but they need to get far enough away that the release of energy ain't going to hit them. They get almost out of the blast radius when the thing charges into it and paf-boom! Amelia, no! Stay away from the bloody door. She is active, mega active these days. But the thing charges into it, they're almost out, wham, that discharge. Everything around them changes in small or large ways, even out where they are, more small where they are because it's almost dissipated, but that energy soaks into them. And in front of them, where their shadows from light would be, everything in their shadows is normal. Everything that wasn't in the shadows is changed. They soaked up all of this energy. And if it doesn't change you instantly, it is going to soak into your cells. It is going to change you, and then the effects are going to be felt. It takes months for the effects of these kinds of changes to be felt. Mostly negative. That's not negative, mostly neutral, occasionally positive. Very, very rarely positive. So they've got this energy soaked into them, checking my time, and this energy is going to affect them. It takes 6 months. And I guess tomorrow I'm going to have to talk more about what happens with the sheriff and Kelvin, because it's 22 minutes in. I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. I was able to change my list as much as my arms hurt today. So thank you, each and every one of my Patreon patrons. You are beautiful and awesome people. Without your help, I and the aging pet would be hosed like Christmas monkeys. Thank you. For everyone who has in the past donated to my PayPal or has donated to my GoFundMe, that is very cool. I have been urged to make updates on the whole situation for the GoFundMe, and I will keep that up, and that will be good. I haven't gotten any donations for at least a week, so yay. But I am not entitled to anyone's money. If anyone does donate to me, that is a gift, a bonus, and thank you. I am not entitled. I can only hope. And I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. I'm going to get rid of my spotlight here. I have expanded the text so I can actually see it. Yay! If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. And even though I do count here in American Sign Language, it's mainly for stimming purposes, even though my fingers feel like they've been smashed by hammers. Oh my God, is it bad. I still count and keep moving because it's use it or lose it. Doesn't matter how much it hurts. So, we have Flora Mew. Thumbs up. Thank you. Good to see you in the comments, my friend. And yes, because I feel it as you do. We have contacted each other and spoken in the past. That's why I've left you things like on Twitter and such that I didn't expect any response. I too feel that we are minor friends, but friends nonetheless. There is AUBOTTE. Thumbs up and thank you very, very much. Laura, thumbs up, thank you much, greatly appreciated. Alejandro SOLIS, thumbs up, thank you. 99th Requiem, greatly appreciated. Nigerian Prince, thumbs up and thank you. User, did I already thank you? If I did, then I thank you again. I don't think I did, but thank you. User, asking about if I have any other pets. Just her at the moment. And then the real one asking if I still have any hamsters. No, not since my last little guy died. There are no ethical breeders, nor are there any pet stores in Shelton. So, I love hamsters. And then there is Chris, greatly appreciated, good to see you in the comments. Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you, and that is it, thumbs up, greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, greatly appreciated, even as I pull and tug obsessively on my shirt with all my cat fur on it. Thumbs up. Well, son of a gun, I'm going to be doing stuff today. I'm going to try and continue getting things boxed up now in here. So I got to go through the closet hopefully today. That'll be good, but I also can't stress this out too much. Both arms right up in the bicep hurt like the devil just by going like this. So the nerve irritation is sadly real. I'm going to call the surgeon. Well, the orthopedics, talk to the doctor and ask about the surgery options, because it ain't gonna be a luxury of just ignoring it for much longer. Except I gotta get moved. Anyway though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Yay! Life is not terrible. Life is just life. Okay, now that I've said all that and tried to be profound, turned on my controller so I can turn off this commentary second track on my PlayStation, recording through Share Factory. Yay! Now to edit through Share Factory, an actually pretty full-featured video editor. I've used it to edit my videos. It's not as powerful as like Wondershare Filmora, but for what it is, not bad. So I'll see you on the flip side.